Okay, thank you for joining us for this special Tuesday edition of the Shortcuts Marketing Masterclass. My name is Noah. I'm one of the educators with Shortcuts. Now, normally we do these presentations, the classroom sessions, on a Monday, but we're doing a special edition for anybody that couldn't attend. Now, if you're not familiar with this or if you have to leave early for today's presentation, that's okay. We are recording it, and at the end of today's session, we will be sharing a link with everybody. So if you don't get to ask your question, or if you think of something after the fact, don't worry, we will send you the link. And of course, you always have the ability to message us your questions a little bit later. So let's go ahead and get started. So today we're going to discuss everything about Shortcuts marketing. Now, if you attended last week's presentation, it was sort of an overview, a review on why you need it, why marketing, especially with email and text, is the most important way to promote your business. It's the most efficient, easiest way to work when it comes to reaching out to your customers. Of course, with that said, you also need to be able to make sure that your shortcut system is ready to go. So we're going to review a few things in your Shortcuts Fusion, your point of sale system, on how to make sure it's ready for shortcuts marketing. And then we're actually going to look at how to create a campaign for email and text. And then if you decide, let's say you have a manager or receptionist that's really savvy, how do you give this person permission to actually create campaigns for you? So let's begin at the beginning. So as with other presentations, this one's going to be about 30 to 45 minutes. My microphone is on, we are recording, and again, we will share a recording of this presentation a little bit later today with everybody that signed up to attend. Hopefully you can hear me with your speakers. And of course, at the very end of the presentation, if you have questions, we do have this chat window on the GoToWebinar screen. So if you have any questions, you can post them there, and we'll have some time at the end to review them. Okay, so if you didn't get a chance to attend last week's presentation, so what exactly is Shortcuts marketing? So Shortcuts decided that we were going to develop a version of marketing for both text and email that was intuitive, that was very easy to set up, and most important, didn't necessarily require you to sign up with some third party company. So everything would synchronize with Shortcuts, would allow you to have access to this on the cloud so that you didn't even necessarily have to be at your shortcut system, your point of sale, in order to take advantage of it. That would be easy to use, and it would actually allow you to do both text and emails. So some services, as you may know, will only do one or the other. This allows you to do both. So if you're not currently using it, or if you've just used it a little bit but want a little bit more of an overview, that's what we're going to look at today. So of course, one of the things you want to make sure is configured correctly in your shortcut system is your audience, your customers. So as you know, there have been a lot of laws passed around the country, in North America, in Canada, as well as overseas in Europe and the UK, with regards to customer privacy. So one of the important things is that customers need to have the ability to opt in or opt out of certain campaigns. So in the old days, when you were at a salon or a spa or a barbershop, you used to be able to ask a customer for a phone number or an email and just send them marketing whenever you had a promotion that was coming up. Well, with regards to these new laws, we want to make sure that we respect the customer's privacy. So with that said, Shortcuts has evolved so that every customer actually has the ability to opt in and opt out of certain types of campaigns. So when you get a phone number or an email, the customer can actually tell you, I don't mind getting confirmation text. I'd rather not get any sort of email. So you can actually control that, and you can change that information in the customer card. The other things that you can do is for marketing. Marketing is actually separate from confirmations. So perhaps a customer says, I don't mind getting a text confirmation, but I don't want to get any sort of marketing. No spam, no emails, no anything. So you actually have two levels of opt-ins in shortcuts. You can say, yes, you can receive a text. No, you don't. You will be opted out of your email. And the same thing goes for ratings and reviews. So after a customer visits you, if you decide to send them a survey, or you send them a follow-up survey every 2 or 3 or 4 months, they can opt in or opt out of that, but still receive their confirmations. So make sure in shortcuts, if you haven't already done this, make sure you enable your customer's opt-in details whenever you create a new client. Now, the nice thing about shortcuts is that we also give the power to do this to the customer themselves. If a customer uses online booking, when they create their account with their own username, their own password, right away, they can opt in or opt out of certain things. So they can say, yes, I'm setting my confirmations to text, I'm setting my marketing preferences to email, and my surveys to email. So that synchronizes with shortcuts. And at any point, if the customer decides they want to opt out, they can opt out of any of those things. Now, something else that will help you if you haven't already merged your customers. So we want to make sure that your database is clean, is efficient, and works very quickly. When Shortcuts detects duplicate customers, if a customer creates an online profile and they've already visited your location, then Shortcuts will warn you. It will warn you at the appointment book. This customer looks exactly like somebody that already exists. Would you like to merge them? You can, of course, say yes, identify the client, and going forwards, even if the customer makes an online appointment or uses the app, Shortcuts will remember this is the same customer. So in case you haven't done this, or if you have a front desk and they're very busy and they don't get a chance to merge customers regularly, we did record a presentation. So you can find it on our Shortcuts support page, how to merge customers. When you get a link for this video a little bit later today, on our Shortcuts YouTube page, we actually had a Monday classroom session which focused specifically on the steps that you should take when it comes time to merge clients. So I implore all of you, if you don't already, or if you're not already in the habit of merging your customers, keeping your database running smoothly, please review that presentation. It'll make sure that all of your contacts are recent and customers are actually getting the marketing preferences that they prefer. So now that we have some of those basics down, so what are the campaigns that are actually available in Shortcuts marketing? So whether you're sending a text or whether you're sending an email campaign from Shortcuts, there's a number of templates, a number of campaigns that are prepared for you. And the wording is there, the subjects are there, and even the ability to automatically put your company logo. All of that is set up for you. You're welcome to go in there and make edits. So every one of these templates that we have, every one of these campaigns actually sends on a specific day and time. So if you're not currently using it, this is a list of what is available. So happy birthday, welcome new guest, and if you notice, there's two versions of the we miss you. There's a time to see you again as well as an actual we miss you. Those each serve a different purpose. One of them, the time to see you, is just a friendly reminder. So if you'd like to send your customers every few weeks, just a reminder that, hey, it's time to get a bang trim or it's just time to get a touch up, let's go ahead and have you make an appointment. So it's a friendly reminder. There's no coupons, there's no promotions associated with it. And that one is designed to go out automatically every few weeks. But then there's a different version, a We Miss You campaign. So the purpose of that campaign is actually designed to recapture lost clients. So historically, if a customer hasn't visited you for 3 months or more, they're a lost client. They've gone to a different salon or barbershop or spa. But of course, maybe the reason they haven't visited is because they've been on travel or they've, been out of the state, whatever the case is. So you want to remind them that you appreciate their business, you'd like to see them again. So this one's designed for a further period, and we would suggest perhaps offer them a coupon for a service or a product to try to get them back in the chair, to try to win this customer back. There is an email that can go out automatically whenever a staff member, or sorry, in this case, whenever a customer refers a new client to you. So you'd like to reward the person that did a referral. So Shortcuts can actually identify this customer and send them a thank you email. And something that's going to help you try to avoid your no-shows or try to avoid any lost business is if a customer no-shows you, Shortcuts now has the ability to send an automated message, whether it's text or email, to the person that said, "Oh, we were expecting you today. We understand something may have happened. Let's have you give us a call and let's reschedule your appointment." And appointment acknowledgments. Now, appointment acknowledgments are a little bit different than your confirmations. So you can actually have two different emails or texts that go out. The appointment acknowledgement, if a customer is at your store location, they make an appointment, even if they're in the chair and one of the employees brings up a tablet or their phone to get the customer to make their next appointment. As soon as they do that, Shortcuts will send them a message to say, "Oh, thank you for your appointment. It is scheduled for this day at this time." So whether it's a few weeks in advance or a month in advance, they'll right away get the message. But then as their appointment gets a little bit closer, perhaps a day or two before their appointment, that's when Shortcuts can then send a confirmation request. So that could be a confirmation email or a confirmation text. So these are the campaigns that are automatically ready to go. You just have to change a few settings and then press the activate button. And all of these campaigns can be ready to go in less than a couple of minutes. So in addition to those templates, you also have the ability to do once-off blast, whether it's text or email. So if you have a slow day in the salon and you just want to let everybody know, hey, if you make an appointment today, we're going to have a special 10% off our Redken products, for example. So you can send a message to everybody and try to drum up a little business. Or if you have a targeted list of clients. So if you have a special fundraising promotion that you're doing this weekend and you're helping raise some money for charity, you can tell Shortcuts there's a marketing option and you can search for clients and you can say, I'm looking for my top spending clients on services and products, and I'd like to invite them to this fundraiser. So Shortcuts, again, can allow you the ability to send a text or an email to targeted customers. So in addition to all of those pre-formatted emails, you always have the ability to just send once-off emails or once-off text. Now, regardless of your database size, you actually get unlimited emails. And this is important because yesterday I was working with a customer. They had over 30,000 contacts. So they've been with Shortcuts for a long time. They've been in business for years and years. So their database had grown huge. And they wanted to know, well, is there a limit for how many emails? No, that's unlimited emails. Where cost comes into play is if you're sending text. So of course, if you're sending confirmations, you've probably signed up for a Shortcuts SMS bundle. And if you're not currently using confirmations or you're not using text marketing, we do offer the ability to sign up for SMS bundles. If you go to our Shortcuts webpage, there's actually a shop link that allows you to add a package of text campaigns. So you can use that for confirmations or you can use that for your text campaigns or both or just one of them. So that's entirely up to you. And of course, the best part about all of this is accessible on any computer that has an internet connection, including your mobile devices. So to use Shortcuts Marketing, you don't have to be on your Shortcuts computer. The only thing you have to do on your Shortcuts computer is really just to make sure your client card is up to date and your preferences are working. So where do you go to configure Shortcuts Marketing? So before you create a campaign, before you add details, there's a couple of things you want to take care of. Now, most of you that are attending are hopefully familiar with the Shortcuts Online Console. So this would be the page that you would historically go to set up your online booking preferences or your survey preferences or even your permission for your staff to access anywhere, the ability to look at their appointments for the week. So in the console.shortcut software, if you want to make sure your email campaigns are ready to go, there's a button you should verify, you should review. So in the online console, if you haven't already done this, I want you to go to your site settings button. And once you're in site settings, the first thing you're going to notice is the site logo. Now, in the past, this would synchronize to a My Local Salon page if you have My Local Salon. But now, this logo will actually appear at the very top of your email campaigns. So if you have a new logo, if you haven't updated your logo in a while, make sure you go into site settings and update that logo. And then once you're in site settings, if you haven't used this or if you haven't configured it in a long time, you're going to notice there's a few new options that weren't there previously. The other options that you have are your social media links. So you can insert a company webpage, a Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter link. So make sure you update this information. Now, some of you may have been using the online services through the console for years, and you haven't really revisited this in a while. So these are new fields. They weren't here previously a couple of years back. So make sure you go back and you just double check your site settings. Now, every time you insert a link, whether it's company page or one of your social media pages, this will actually tell the email to display a corresponding button that links to that particular page. So let's say you don't have an Instagram or you don't have a Twitter page, that's fine. If you leave that field blank, then the corresponding button will not appear on the email. So don't worry about leaving those blank if you don't have those pages. So you'll insert your company logo, you'll update your company and social media links, and now your emails are starting to queue data, starting to be ready to send. So then the second thing, when you actually want to start using emails, sending emails from Shortcuts, if you're still in the console, you've probably noticed there's a new button available, Shortcuts Cloud. Or let's say you're working from home and you just want to go directly to the cloud and send out an email, then you can always access it by going to point of sale, pos.shortcutsoftware.com. And you're going to log in with the exact same username and password that you would use in the console. Once you're there, you're actually going to notice there's a marketing button at the very top of the screen. Now, some of the attendees that might be listening in, you may have a spa or you may have a barber shop and you deal with walk-ins mostly. You don't really deal with the appointment book. Regardless of what level of shortcut system you have, when you log into the cloud, you may not necessarily see the appointment book, the cloud-based appointment book, but everybody will have access to that marketing button. So once you're in marketing, you want to choose what type of email you'd like to send out. So targeted campaign, again, to very specific customers that you selected from Shortcuts, or a message to everybody, or one of the pre-formatted automated campaigns. And once you select what type of campaign you'd like to send, then you tell Shortcuts, am I sending an SMS, a text campaign, or am I sending an email campaign? Now, technically, you can enable both. So whichever preference the customer has, if the customer prefers to get text for confirmations or text for their just their marketing, you can set that up. Or if the customer prefers to get email, then they're going to get that version of the message. So you can set both or just one up. So whichever one you choose, you want to start to customize it. Now, by default, there is a header that appears at the top of the email, and that always is your company logo, the one that Shortcut synchronizes from your site settings. Immediately underneath your company logo, this is where we actually have the ability to insert a custom graphic. So we would call this the header. Now, there is a recommended size for this picture, which is about 600 pixels by 300 pixels. And this is a banner sized image. So depending on the campaign you're sending, you want to make sure that you have a graphic that corresponds with the message. So, of course, something fun if you're sending out a birthday message, if you're sending out a time to see you or reminder, a corresponding graphic. So after you've selected your display image, your banner, then you want to start customizing the text that appears in your actual message. Now, for the automated campaigns, they are all designed to send at a specific interval. And more important, they're all designed to send at a specific time. We've discovered from years of doing marketing that 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning is usually the most popular time for customers to receive and open emails. So that's why all the automated campaigns are designed to be sent at about 9 o'clock, whether it's a birthday, whether it's a referral, whether it's a we miss you. That's why they're set to send at that time. Now, yesterday I had this question: can you set the intervals? Can you change those intervals? Not yet. The version of Shortcuts Marketing that we're looking at is sort of a version 1.0. There will be additional features that we will be introducing into this that will allow you to make adjustments to the time, to the send date, to other parameters. But for right now, these are the recommended times, and as features are added, we'll do more presentations. So the automated ones go at a certain day at a certain time. Every campaign always has a subject that you can change. So you can put in a welcome, you can put in a happy birthday message, and in the subject, as well as in the body of the campaign, you do have the ability to insert custom fields, or in this case, custom data that you have from shortcuts. So in the subject, you can say something like, welcome to my salon, and then put in the customer's first name. And then in the body of the message, you can repeat that. You can say, hi, put in their first name. Welcome to my salon. I appreciate your business. I hope you had a nice time here, and I look forward to your next visit. So wherever you see insert field, whether you're in the subject or in the body of the text, you can insert from that pull down menu a number of details, from full name to first name to last name, or to your business name, so that you don't have to type out your salon name every time. Now, if you're sending out an email that has some sort of coupon, some sort of discount or promotion, make sure you create those discounts in the Shortcuts point of sale first, because your emails can actually track this information. So of the automated campaigns that we have, 4 of them, we would recommend creating some sort of discount, some sort of promotion that corresponds with it. So the most important one is your happy birthday one. That is by far the most popular email campaign that any business can send out. Not just the hair industry, not just the beauty industry, but across the board. It's always nice to get a birthday message with some sort of coupon to use on your birthday. So set that up in shortcuts. Choose whether the customer can use this discount on services or products or both. And then you're going to put that particular information in the email. The other ones that you can use it for is referral. So anybody that refers a new client to you, you want to send them a thank you plus give them a coupon for their next visit. Again, whether it's for service or retail, that's up to you. The third most important, the one to recapture lost clients. So the we miss you. If it's been more than 3 months, you've probably lost this client, but it's worth trying to win them back. Offer them a coupon. So those are three of the campaigns. The fourth one is actually the client's first visit email. Now, studies have shown if you can get a customer to visit your location 3 times consecutively, then chances are they're going to be a lifelong client. So the very first time somebody visits you, it may be because they're new in town, they're trying out different salons or spas or barbershop, so they just want to see what's available. Maybe they visit your location, they like the first stylist that they had, and maybe the second time they visit, they're going to find an even better stylist that they're more comfortable with. Well, to increase the odds that they're going to be there 3 times consecutively, think about sending an email after a customer's first visit that offers them a coupon that they can use on their second visit. So that will greatly increase the odds that they'll be there the second and third time and thus become a lifelong customer. So in shortcuts, think about creating those 4 automated discounts: birthday, referral, we miss you, and one for the customer's second visit. Now, more than that, think about an entire year's worth of promotions. So as we're entering the fall and as we're starting to get into the holiday season, think about, are you going to offer a coupon or have some sort of promotion for Black Friday or for the holidays or for the new year? And then think about next year. Are you going to do anything for Valentine's or Mother's Day? Have you ever run a promotion for summer or for back to school for that matter? So if Shortcuts has these discounts already in the queue, ready to go, then all you have to do when the time comes, go to Shortcuts Marketing, put together an email, and that email can track that coupon. So there's actually a return on investment report that Shortcuts Marketing has. It'll actually show you how many messages did you send out? How many of those messages did the customers engage with? And when the customer returned to take advantage of that coupon, how much did they spend in total? Was the discount valued at? So you'll actually get a tally at the end of the month or at the end of the year, however long you've been running the campaign, for what was your return on investment. So don't just think about the next campaign or the next holiday. Think about your long-term goal. The more you use Shortcuts Marketing, the more successful you'll be at knowing what the customers tend to see and what the customers are actually using. And of course, you can always make adjustments for the coupons. So if one campaign isn't working, you can review, well, maybe I should try it on products, or maybe I should try it on services, or maybe I should change the value. So this is flexible. So once your discount is created in Shortcuts, as you're putting together the email, Shortcuts Marketing will actually show you these are all the discounts that you have in your system. Which one would you like to follow? Not only that, every email has the ability to have either a book now or a check-in button. So if you deal with a walk-in manager, you can actually have the customer check in from the email they receive. And as always, if there is something in the email that you do not need to see or do not want to see, if you do not want to have a coupon in there, you can delete that row. If you don't want to have a book now or a check-in button, you can delete those rows as well. So you can still customize some of these templates. So as you put together your email, you made sure you put in a header, you put in a subject, you customized the message, you included a link to your particular promotion. So everything looks good. You can preview it, and on your browser, Shortcuts will actually give you a small picture of what it's going to look like. Or if you'd like to review this email on your home computer or send a copy of this email to your coworkers or your friends, you can send a test. You can review it, make edits, and once you're officially happy with it, you can, of course, activate the campaign. So setting up a birthday campaign or a referral campaign, it's fairly straightforward. It's very easy. You can do it in just a couple of minutes and then activate it. And then from that point forward, those messages will automatically send when they're supposed to. So let's actually go into Shortcuts and just look at some of these options. So I'm going to get out of the presentation for a moment, and I'm going to jump into the cloud. So in the marketing button, I'm going to suspend my birthday campaign. So in here, let me open up my window a little bit. And I will go to email. Okay, so on the left side of the screen, so again, you can send a message to all of your customers, targeted customers. We'll look at how to target customers in just a little bit, or set up one of our automated campaigns. So happy birthday is by far the most popular. On the right side, this is where you tell Shortcuts, I'm either setting up a text version of this campaign or an email version of this campaign. So I'm going to choose email. I know that my company logo will already appear at the top of the screen, but I'd like to make sure that it also includes some sort of friendly picture. Perhaps people celebrating so that they know, oh, this is some sort of birthday message. So I chose a file. I actually created a picture for this and I uploaded it. And then I customized the subject. So the very first thing a customer sees when they get their email is the subject. So before they even open it, before they look at the details, they'll receive a message, and it's always nice if it's personalized. So the default, it might say happy birthday, and let's say happy birthday from Angel's Salon. Well, that's nice. But to increase the odds of the customer opening this email and taking a look at it, we can say happy birthday, put a space there, and on the right side, I can choose insert field and insert the customer's first name. So now it's really nice because the email says, happy birthday, Noah, from Angel Salon. And then I can start customizing the body of the text. Again, I can insert fields. I can put in the name of the salon and what the message is. So in this one, I want to offer the customer a coupon. Now, the default templates may say something like $20 off a certain service. So you're welcome to change the value and change it from a dollar to a percent. So if on somebody's birthday you actually offer them 10% off all products, go ahead and change that offer. And then select the corresponding discount that's in your shortcut system. Always make sure to set some terms and conditions so that this coupon doesn't have an unlimited value or an unlimited use date. So for birthdays, for referrals, for most of the campaigns that I send out, I actually give it a window of anywhere between 14 and 30 days from the day you send the message. And the reason I do a day window instead of just saying 1 month, 2 months, is because some months are longer or shorter than others. So if you give them a firm 14 days from this date, 30 days from this date, then there's an absolute cutoff for them. Also, you can specify, is this coupon good for services, products, or just one item? So specify all of that in the terms and conditions. By default, if you have online booking through Shortcuts, then your Book Now button will actually appear there. So the customer can click on it and go to online booking. If you're a walk-in location, then you can put in a check-in button instead. Or if you decide to get rid of those, on the top right corner, that's when you see a little X that allows you to just eliminate that row. So I could eliminate the promotion if I wanted. So once I put in that information, I could hit preview and just get a small snapshot of what my email looks like. If I'm happy with it, then I can activate it. But if I want to take a look at it on my phone or send it to my friend to have them take a look at it, on the right side, oh, so there's my email. And since I have my social media links all in my site settings, they all appear at the bottom of the email. So if I'm happy with it, I can activate it. Or I can send a test and put in an email for somebody I'd like to review this email with. So if I'm completely happy with it and I activate it, then Shortcuts will automatically send a birthday message at 9 o'clock on every day somebody has a birthday. And if you look at the left side of the screen, any campaign that I've already activated has a green light, a little green dot that appears next to the type of campaign. So I can see that my appointment acknowledgments, my happy birthday campaigns are active. Everything in gray is inactive. So I can always put together a happy birthday text campaign. And I can say happy birthday, put in the customer's name, and then what are the promotion details. And if I were to activate that, now on the left side of the screen, Shortcut shows me I have both a text and an email happy birthday campaign that are ready to go. So it's very easy to keep track of what's active, what's live, and at any point, if you decide I want to go back and make some changes, edit it, you can go back to it, and on the bottom right corner, you can deactivate, make your changes, and then activate it again. Okay, let's go back to the presentation. So that is actually setting up email campaigns. It's very easy to do in Shortcuts Marketing. And if you're not already using it, hopefully this inspires you to start taking advantage of it. It's super simple to use. So if you have a targeted list in Fusion, in your Shortcuts point of sale, so the steps to do this are you want to create a marketing list of certain clients or certain types of clients. So you want to go to marketing, that's a button under tools, and you're going to search for a specific type of client. And then you're going to press compute to generate that list of clients. And then you're going to save that list. So that list is going to be saved as a text list. And then once you have it, you can upload that into your email, your Shortcuts marketing. So I'm actually going to bring up the Shortcuts point of sale, and we're just going to talk a little bit about the marketing button, how to save it, and where to access it. So you can always choose which directory you're saving it to. So in Shortcuts, I'll bring up my system. It looks like it's launching right now. There we go. So under Tools, Marketing. So if you're not familiar with this window, it looks complex. It's actually pretty easy. On the top row, this is where you tell Shortcuts, I'm looking for customers that have had a certain service that they've purchased, or they've purchased a certain product or a certain line. In the middle of the screen, the filter instead is I'm looking for customers that have never had a certain service or have ever purchased a certain product. So one of the examples that I use is, let's say I want to select customers that have had a haircut with me but have never done a color service. So I can tell Shortcuts at the very top of the screen, I'm looking for anybody that's done any sort of colors or haircut service. And I can choose even the specific haircuts. And then in the middle row, I can then tell it, but have never gotten any sort of color service. So now that I told Shortcuts that, if I press compute, then Shortcuts will give me the list of customers that meet this criteria. They've either purchased one of those services and have not purchased some of these other services. The other things you can do in marketing are on the bottom left corner where it says clients. So this is where you tell Shortcuts what types of clients are you looking for, not just the services or products that they've purchased, but a more specific criteria. So when we go to the clients window, this is where customer demographics really come into play. So if you have an employee and perhaps this person is going to be going on vacation or they're out sick, maybe they're in the hospital, it might be an extended stay, you're not sure. So you want to send a message to all of the customers that have this as a preferred employee and let them know, I'm sorry to let you know Andres is out sick. We're not sure when he's going to be back. Let's have you schedule your appointments with one of our other employees. Or if he's just on vacation for the next 2 weeks, and we're letting you know so that you can schedule with a different person. The other things you can do is, let's say, and again, this is the fundraiser example, I'm looking for customers that have spent more than a certain amount or less than a certain amount or have visited a certain number of times so that I can send them a very targeted message. Or I'm looking for clients that are all brand new clients from a certain date range. So you have all sorts of filters you can enable. So on this window, once you're ready and you press compute, then Shortcuts will generate a list of customers. And then Shortcuts will allow you to save that list. Now, I'm not going to generate a list because this is a blank database. This is my test database. So there's really nothing to look at. But once you save your file, and you can choose which directory you're saving it to, so you can save it to your documents or your desktop. Once you're in Shortcuts, as you're building a campaign for targeted marketing, whether it's a text or an email, at the bottom of the screen, you'll actually be prompted to choose the file. So choose that text file that you saved in Shortcuts, and these are the only people the message will send to. So that is actually how you upload a targeted client list. And that is also how you use the marketing screen. So again, use marketing to select your filters, your types of clients, save it, and then in Shortcuts Marketing, choose the file and select wherever you saved it. Now to create an SMS campaign, it's not much different than creating an email campaign. You would go to Shortcuts Marketing, you would choose your either once-off blast or your automated message, and you would put in the details, fill in your subject, or fill in the body of the text. The only real difference is a character limit. So of course your email can have as many characters as you'd like, but with text, there's a cutoff at about 138 characters. The SMS window will show you how many characters you've typed out so far. If you go over 138, then marketing will actually send multiple text messages for that promotion or for that event. So just keep that in mind. If you have a bundle plan through Shortcuts, then this is eating into your plan. So you don't want to accidentally write too big of a message or too big of a promotion in SMS. And just like email, you can preview what the message looks like. You can send a test to yourself, and then you can activate it or deactivate it. So how do you track your progress? Whether you're using text or email campaigns, how do you know how successful, how many customers are using it? So when you go to the cloud, there's a button called Dashboard. And on the dashboard screen, you actually get to see a snapshot of the performance for your salon. So customers, services, products, staff, all of that shows up in the dashboard. But once you start activating campaigns, at the bottom of the dashboard window, there's going to be a row that says Campaign ROI. What is your return on investment? It'll show you the name of every text or every email campaign you've created, how many messages have been sent, how many customers have been clicking on the links, following the links, and what is your response rate. So when the customer actually uses their birthday coupon, their referral coupon, their We Miss You coupon, Shortcuts will say this is how much we gave them in discounts, but how much the customer spent in total. So you may be giving away $300 worth of coupons through a year, but your return on investment can be several $1,000s. So it pays off to have coupons, and especially if you're using them for automated campaigns, so that you don't always have to remember, oh, I need to do a promotion this week, or I need to do a promotion this month. A number of these can already be going for you. So just remember, if you want to see how they're performing in the cloud, go to the dashboard button. So Shortcuts marketing is very easy to use. Just about anybody, well, anybody that's an administrator can set up a campaign, can send it out to everybody. But if you're super busy, you're running your business, or you're actually taking appointments as well, and you don't have a chance or an opportunity to set up a campaign, but you have an employee that is really savvy, or a couple of employees that are really savvy, they know what are the keywords to use, they know what customers like, you can give them permission to configure marketing campaigns. So in that, if you're in the cloud, if you go to Menu, General Settings, Roles, and Permissions, there's actually a row that says Configuration. When you click on that row, there's a little yes/no slider button that says I can configure marketing campaigns. Now this applies to anybody that's in the role. So if you enabled it for employees, then all employees have that permission. If you decide, well, I don't want employees to have this, I'd rather have it be for a manager or a receptionist or a different level. In the cloud, you can actually create a custom role. You can give it a name, you can call it front desk or manager, and then you can go line by line and give them certain permissions that are not default permissions for employees. So again, if you have somebody on your staff that's just really creative, they're really good with this, go ahead and give them permission to create campaigns on your behalf. You can always turn off this option as well if they're not really doing anything, or you just want to control the messages you're branding. So that is everything about Shortcuts marketing. Hopefully you're going to start using it if you aren't already using it. You now know how to prepare your Shortcuts point of sale. Make sure your customer preferences are set. If you haven't done a merge on your clients, you haven't cleaned up your database, make sure you do that first to start streamlining at your marketing list. You now know how to create email and text campaigns, whether it's a one-off message or an automated message. Super easy to set up. And of course, how to give staff permission to create campaigns if you decide to do that. So this is the part where we open up the floor for questions. So on the right side of your screen, you should have a little question bar that pops up and allows you to type in a message. So I'll give everybody a moment if you're not writing down notes. And I'll bring up the question window on my side so I can see it. Okay. Now, let's say you're watching this video after the fact, you couldn't attend this morning's presentation. You can always reach us. I am going to show our number and our email, but you can also reach us on social media. So if you come across the Shortcuts Instagram page or the Shortcuts Facebook page, you can post a question there and we will get back to you. Right? And I'm checking on the right side. I don't think we have any questions yet. I'll give it a few more moments. Oh, well, I don't think. Oh, we did get a question. Can we get a copy of this webinar? Yes. This goes to Dennis and anybody that joined in after I started. We are recording this session, and if you had to drop out early or you didn't come in right when we began, we are recording it, and we will send everybody a link at the end of the presentation. And of course, if you have any questions after the fact, or again, you're watching this link and you just weren't in when we were doing it live, again, you can reach out to us and we will review your question, get back to you. So we have another question. When will Shortcuts integrate with 5-Stars customer database? I don't think Shortcuts has any plans to do that. So that's something we might pursue in the future. But for right now, I have not heard of any plans to integrate with 5-Star or with any other database or system for promotions or for tracking customer rewards. That's a good question. Okay. Are there any other questions? I think we've got all the questions answered. Okay, so as always, if you're watching this video, you weren't in on the live session, you can always reach out to us. You can reach our customer care team, you can give us a call, and we are always checking our social media, so you can even post questions there. So thank you all for attending. I hope that this has gotten you interested in starting to use Shortcuts Marketing. It's, again, the easiest to use platform that we've created, and it will become more robust in time. So if there's a certain feature that you'd like to see, chances are we're working on it, and we will be rolling these out. And of course, I will probably be doing a presentation in the near future to let you know the additional features of Shortcuts Marketing. So if you have any questions, go ahead and let us know. Thank you all for attending. I'm going to be pausing the presentation. So everybody should get a copy of this a little bit later today. Thank you all for attending.